or I'm not seeing your comments in the chat section, you will not be able to get the best from the session. So today, what you're going to learn is what NAFDAC really requires from you, the mistakes that people make that delay approvals, and the roadmap to get approval without wasting your money or wasting your time. Do you understand? So, in all the challenges that people face in getting their NAFDAC certification, when I got my first NAFDAC during my first for my first product, it was a bit of a challenge because something you are doing for the very first time. There was a lot of back and forth. At a point, some people were even saying you need to consult and get a consultant to do that for you. And I checked it. I'm like, okay, now that I know these people, I know the protocols. So I had a conversation with them to exactly find out the end to end. What do people need so as not to get in locked down in this kind of delay or back and forth? And the NAFDAC officials, we walk through the process. I have to listen to their experiences. And we are based in Benin physically. Our office is in GRA Benin, 24 Gobadia. And from the interactions and webinars we've held with several SMEs, we've come to see that even though NAFDAC tells us, come to us, our processes, and you can do it yourself, you find that their requirements can be confusing if you do not have that technical background. I know there are people who studied law and they are into food processing now. There are people who have just SSCE and they are into food processing. So when you start telling them, go and provide SOP, it becomes like confusing, like what is SOP? How do I go about it? Now, consultants, I also consult and process NAFDAC certification for people. And for me to do it, we charge 500,000 naira per product. But you know that SMEs, people that are just starting, that 500,000 naira, if you have free 500,000 naira, it can do a lot of things for you. It can get you equipment, it can get you raw materials. So taking that amount to go and give one consultant sometimes can look like a tall order. It's something that you are not really so excited to do right away, because that money can be put to good use in different other ways. So the best approach to this is to go by yourself. But then there's this fear of rejection, because if they reject your application, you have to pay afresh and start afresh. So what does NAFDAC want from us? The requirements from NAFDAC.
They share that wall before one small shop. Help me to look for it.
Please, Mrs. Faith, mute your mic. The requirements from NAFDAC is actually simple. It is simple, but it is not easy. Simple and easy are two different things. So, what does NAFDAC want from us? NAFDAC is looking at three key things when they are working with SMEs. The categories of NAFDAC processing, NAFDAC registration, there is a category for SMEs, the small business owners, and there is a category for big brands. I am not talking about the big brands today. Most big brands have a section in their company who is in charge of documentation and compliance. But for SMEs, you are running your business all by yourself or with 2 staff, 7 staff, 10 staff. Sometimes you don't have a documentation desk. You don't have that admin desk. So most of the admin work is on you. The first thing NAFDAC is looking at is safety. Safety first. If you look at their slogan, they always say safeguarding the health of the nation. That is their primary duty, to make sure that Nigerians are safe. So if you are producing a product, they want to make sure that what you are presenting before the public is safe, absolutely safe. So it doesn't matter whether you are saying true to God is safe. They want to see it. They want to see it. The next thing that NAFDAC is looking at for your product, please, can you go back to the previous slide? Admin, please. The next thing they are looking at is traceability. What you are selling to the public, where did it come from? Where did you get it from? If you are not able to prove to them where your product is from, where you get your raw materials, where you get your equipment, you're going to have a problem with them. They also want you to grow. And for you to grow, your business structure has to be appropriate. You need to structure your business properly. So they are going to also look into your business structure. Moving on, please, again. So now, the major thing why we want to have this conversation today is for entrepreneurs to understand why or the mistakes that people make. Because remember, we said NAFDAC processing by yourself is simple, but sometimes it can get complicated. It is not always easy. That is, simple processes does not mean that it is easy. Please go to slide 5, sir. The mistakes that people make. Mistakes, go back, sir, or go forward. Yes, please. Thank you. The first mistake that people make is product clarity. Today, we are talking to entrepreneurs in the food sector, people that are into processing and packaging. So we're not talking to people in chemicals. We're not talking to people in drugs. If you're in drugs or chemicals, today is not for you. Today, we are talking about people who are making food products. Mary Jane, you said network is bad. Can you hear us? I hope you can, or you can watch the replay. Now, the first mistake that people make is product clarity. What are you presenting to the public? I like the way several people have presented their products. You said you're making plantain star. Another person says I'm making pap. Now, NAFDAC wants to see how clear what you said you are producing is. There are people that mix up what they produce. You are producing, let's say, ginger powder, for instance, and we all know that ginger has high antioxidant effect. Instead of saying that you are producing ginger, you start telling us that you are producing a product that cures cancer, because antioxidants also help with cancer management. Now, it's confusing, because are you producing food or are you producing drugs? Once you make bogus claims, NAFDAC, you have a problem with them. They start flagging your product. They keep canceling your SOP and your label because of the claims that you make. So you have to be clear on what you are producing. The next mistake that people make is going to start your NAFDAC processing, starting your NAFDAC processing without involving NAFDAC themselves. I've seen people that built a full factory before they involved NAFDAC. And when NAFDAC came, they told them to tear down different sections of the facility. That is waste of money. That is avoidable waste. Your facility readiness, you need to involve NAFDAC from the onset before you build. In fact, I will advise, once you have your floor plan, take it to NAFDAC office. Let them look at your floor plan. I can help you walk through your floor plan, but before you commence and pay, show them. Before you start construction, show them, so that you do not waste money. A lot of people are afraid of NAFDAC, and you say, oh, if I go to them, they will not start chasing me. It's not always true. It is not always true. Go to them, show them your floor plan. Let them see the layout of the factory you want to build, of the place or the space you want to use as your facility. They have a provision for that. You will pay and they will come to your premises. It's called pre-inspection. Now, when I say factory, some people will say, oh, I don't have factory. That space where you are producing your food products, that is your factory. That is your factory. In fact, start calling it factory. Even if it's a one-room space, call it your factory. Speak like what you want to see yourself as in the near future. The third reason is documentation. There's a lot of documents, a whole lot of documents that NAFDAC need you to provide. You are going to write application letter. You are going to provide an employment letter for your team. I know many of us, maybe you're working alone and you say you didn't give yourself an employment letter. You have to give yourself an employment letter in your business as maybe production manager or quality control manager. You need appointment letter stating the time this person commenced business. If you do not provide it, NAFDAC will also delay you. So you have to provide that. Administrative documentation you require are there's documentation that are administrative and there are documentation that is technical. Your administrative documentation are the document that make your business what it is, starting from your CAC registration. So if you have not registered your business with CAC, it's time to start thinking about that. You register your business with CAC, you have to have trademark for the brand name you are claiming. If you do not have trademark or you do not want to process a trademark, there's also a way for it for SMEs. For big companies, it's non-negotiable. But for SMEs, they understand. They don't want us to spend so much money. So there's also provision for you to process your documentation without getting a trademark. But I will always advise you go do your trademark. It's not really as it's expensive like that, although it costs you some money. We then the administrative document, we've talked about your CAC, we've talked about the trademark, we've talked about the organogram of your company, who reports to who takes instructions from who. Now, the technical documents are the documents that help you for your day-to-day running. How do you produce? For the person making pap, what is the flow diagram of your production? By flow diagram, I mean where you start from. If you're making corn pap, for instance, you started with corn. What do you do first? Do you pick it and sort it? Do you soak it to ferment? Do you change water? Do you grind it? Do you sieve it? Do you dehydrate? Do you blend? Do you package? All these unit operations of what you do to get your product from the raw material to the finished product. This is your flow diagram. Now that I'm going to see as which step goes before the other. You will draw it as a flow diagram. They also, in technical documentation, they also want to see your batch formulation. If you're not making a single product, if you're making a single product, you don't need a batch formulation. Let's say you're making plantain flour, for instance. So everything in your product is 100% plantain. You don't need a batch formulation. But if you are making, let's say, plantain flour fortified with cocoyam flour, for instance, let's say you're trying to make a special swallow for individuals who want to go low on sugar, for instance, and you're now combining maybe the taro cocoyam with unripe plantain to get the flour for the swallow. NAFDAC will want to see your batch formulation. Batch formulation is simple. What quantity of flour do you put? What quantity of plantain flour do you put? What quantity of cocoyam flour do you put to make a batch? Do we get that? Now, the next reason why people, okay, apart from the technical documents, it's not just the SOP. The SOPs are the detailed explanation of how you do things. So you're going to show the SOP for your production. You're also going to, the SOP means standard operating procedures. The procedures you use in your operations. Your operations are the day-to-day activities that happen in your business. So the day-to-day activities, the major one is production, of course. Then you also have cleaning. Every food processor knows that cleaning is something we don't joke with. Because whatever you use to produce, you will clean your vessels, you will clean the premises, you will have you have a way of doing those things. So when you come to NAFDAC, most times they will just tell you to provide the SOP. They will not show you how to do it because they don't work with you. You are the one that know how you do your work. But the challenge is that when you now present how you do your work, that it is not in line with how you should do your work, they will flag it. So even though you have a way of doing your things, okay, let's say for instance, somebody is making fufu powder. The way he does his fufu powder is he gets cassava, he peels it, he adds paracetamol, he adds a little bit of bleach, he covers it for 2 days, he sieves it, and then he continues with the rest of the processing. That is the way he does it. And if you ask him for explanation, he'll tell you the paracetamol and the bleach all help to give him odorless fufu. That is the way he does his things. But how does NAFDAC want? Remember, their key mantra is safeguarding the health of the nation. People that are not sick, should they be taking paracetamol every afternoon in their food? You and I know that the answer is no. Human beings, are human beings supposed to consume bleach? We know that the answer is no. So NAFDAC is going to clamp on that. So it is now left for you to find what are the ways I can produce my fufu to make it white and odorless without breaking the law. It is now left for you to consult a food technologist to help you work around it so that you will have a safe food product that achieves your product, that achieves your desire. So you're also going to have the standard of cleaning, how you clean, the standard for receiving your raw materials. What is the process? The standard for distribution, for instance, after you finish producing your product, how do you send it to other places? How do you send it to the shops that sell for you? How do you send it to your distributors? Now that wants to see the standards that you use. The next thing is the NAPAMS portal. NAPAMS is the official website where NAFDAC uses to upload documentation and process NAFDAC application for individuals. Whether you're an SME or you are a company. Okay, someone said the fan is disturbing. So sorry for that. I've turned it off. Is the sound better now? Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you for noting that. Thank you so much. So NAPAM's portal, some people, if you upload documents in the wrong places, you are going to get, they call it compliance directive. You're going to have a pause on your processing. Compliance directive implies that they want you to go and comply with something. They are directing you that you have missed compliance. You need to comply. It doesn't mean rejection. I've seen people that met a compliance directive on the NAPAMS portal and they stopped producing and they stopped processing their NAFDAC application. They said NAFDAC has rejected it. It's not a rejection. It's for you to go back and check. There's always a comment there to show what you have missed. If you have uploaded the wrong document, if there's mistake or error in what you have uploaded, if there's correction that is needed, then they need you to go there. Another reason, within the documentation, I skipped your label, product label. That is another major reason in documentation why people get delayed. Final inspection is very key. There are two stages of inspection. We have talked about the pre-inspection. Now, pre-inspection, they are always very happy to meet you. They look around the premises, they take corrections, they tell you move this from here to here, adjust this in this way. But when they are coming for final inspection, they are not coming there again. They are coming to, let me say, they are coming to take judgment on your premises. So when you call them for pre-inspection, take a jotter. Note all the corrections they asked you to make. Follow through to make all of them if you don't want delay. Once you have checked all the comments they made, then you invite them for final inspection when you are ready. It's at your own pace, so there's no hurry. If you hurry and go and invite them the second time, and they pause your inspection, they pause your processing, it's going to take you another time to go and correct things. And when they get irritated at you, their attitude might change. They are human beings and they are always under pressure. So it's very important for you to go through the directives they gave you when they came for pre-inspection and correct all of them. Then you invite them for the final inspection. When they have come for final inspection, they will now invite you to bring product samples. A lot of people also get rejection from product sample for very simple reasons. As simple as your product, you're supposed to, you say you're making plantain flour 250 grams. But you go and buy, I've seen people that they buy plastic bag pouches And when they got the plastic pouches, the seller tells them that this pouch is for 1 kg, this pouch is for 500 grams. So they just carry that pouch and pour plantain flour inside it and say it is 500 grams. They will send back your product. And product submission, usually sometimes for some products, they can ask you for 10 samples of your product, 6 samples of your product. Imagine if you're making 5 products, 4 products, and you have submitted 10 samples of each or 6 samples of each. We're talking about a lot of products that you have given to them. And because you did not scale your weight accurately, they will not return those product samples, but they will ask you for another batch. So that can be really annoying and is avoidable. So when you're submitting your product, make sure that the label on it is your final version of label. Make sure that your weight is accurate. Make sure that what you said that you are using, the kind of packaging you are using. Some people are fond of buying the cheapest or the most beautiful packaging they see. So let's say you're making coated peanuts. Your coated peanut is in a packaging that is beautiful you saw today. Tomorrow you go to the market and you see another different kind of packaging, and you're doing something that does not match, you are going to delay yourself. And the final reason is abandonment. I've been at NAFDAC office one day and somebody came and was just lamenting, NAFDAC, you wasted my time. 2 years I've been trying to register this product and you people have been unfair to me. And they asked her, when was the last time you corrected the compliance directives we gave you? So they make corrections, you get angry and you go home and you abandon the portal. The portal will wait for you 1 year, 2 years. But the earliest or the faster you work on it to get your approval out, the faster you will begin to scale your product. The faster you begin to scale your brand. So these are the mistakes I've noted. Maybe if we are willing to have a conversation, you can also note what other things you have experienced in your journey that has delayed you. Admin, let's look at the next slide. So you don't have to actually make these mistakes if you know what the mistakes are, right? If you know what the mistakes are, next, you will not go through them because you already know that these are the things that are going to delay you. You're not delaying NAFDAC, you're delaying yourself. Let's click the next slide, please. What you need is support. And this is the primary reason why FDI Hub was created, to provide knowledge and support to entrepreneurs, starting from those in the food sector. We can also provide knowledge and support for other people, like when we're going to do NAFDAC registration for people in chemicals. But for now, our primary point of call is people in the food sector. You need support as you're going through your NAFDAC processing if you're doing it by yourself. If you're ready to pay a consultant, if you're ready to pay for your consultation fee, that's very fine. Just go ahead and pay a consultant and they will handle it for you. But for you that is an SME, I will not advise you to use consultants. Why? Not because the consultant will not do the work for you. If you're involving a consultant, do not hand over the work to them and go to sleep. Work with them to understand the processes, because your understanding of these processes, next slide please, your understanding of these processes is what helps you to improve on your product, helps you to improve on your business. Consultation fee, as I've said, depending on the size of your production, the size of your business, usually is from around 500,000. Any person that charges you less than 500,000 is doing you a favor. You should thank that person very well. They do not hand over your NAFDAC registration to a consultant and go to sleep. You will not learn, you will not grow. Now, there are agents that also help people to write their SOPs. The ones I've met, they charge like 20K per SOP. But then when you have up to 10 SOPs, 10 documentation to provide, that's a lot of money. But then, how do you write these SOPs if you don't even understand what it is? A lot of people do self-help. You go to ChatGPT, You go online and download how to write an SOP. At the end of the day, NAFDAC keeps canceling it as if they're your university professor, canceling your project thesis. They keep canceling because maybe you go and download the one for a large scale business and maybe the production cycle they are showing you is so complicated. Meanwhile, you are a one-man business producing using a very simple machine. So self-help sometimes can work, but most times it takes a lot of time, you waste money, and at some point you get confused. FDI Hub is available to support you, but we are not doing this support free of charge. What we're introducing to you, let's see the next slide. What we're introducing to you is a DIY toolkit. DIY toolkit is DIY stands for do it yourself. You do this process yourself, but you have an organization supporting you. When you buy the DIY toolkit, what you are going to see is a video giving you clarity and mindset shift that you need to go through this NAFDAC journey. You will also have a video model in module 2 that explains the setup of your production space, especially for people who are using a small space. How do you set it up so that NAFDAC can listen to you and give you approval from your home? We also have the master checklist that gives you the list of all the documents you need in one place. So you're no longer guessing. You have all the documents in one place. We also have a video module that explains how to upload your documents and what to upload at each stage on the NAPAMS portal. Then we also have a done for you SOPs. So we write all the SOPs that you need for your product for you. You download the template, you insert your business name and product in the required spaces. Now, the most important reason why you should get to this NAFDAC toolkit is because of the community we have. Now, when you download the template and fill in your blank spaces, you submit it to us for review so that we see what you have done. Because the person producing chin-chin, your flow diagram will be different from the person making zobo, dried zobo leaves or zobo tea. Do you understand? So we will need to look at it. We have food technologies that are in our team to review it. We have BDSPs that are in our team to review your work before you start your submission. When you have all these things done for you, and in the same WhatsApp group, you're going to be with other SMEs that are producing their NAFDAC, going through their NAFDAC journey by themselves. So you people can encourage one another. You can ask yourself questions. You can leverage on peer learning to see what challenges another person is facing and how that person is going about it in that peer support. What does it cost to get this resource? What does it cost to get this resource? Let's see the next slide. Oh, okay, that's the last. So this resource now, if you are talking about, go back to the previous one to see the content. Now, if you're talking about getting your SOPs for you, the SOPs, we usually charge 20,000 naira per SOP if you want us to write for you ordinarily under the consulting section. But we want that thing to be for bigger companies. But this particular package, we're making it for you that is producing your product by yourself, maybe with one or two help, the nano and the small business owners. If you're looking at the SOPs, let's say you have 10 SOPs to submit, we also help you to write your application letter, your offer letter, all the templates you need, your business organogram, and the rest of them. If we are writing all those things for you, the cost will not be less than 200,000 naira. But because we are targeting people who are just starting, people whose business is still on the early stage, the cost for this has been pegged on 50,000 naira to get the entire NAFDAC toolkit. The toolkit will be released on April 1st. Now, between now and Monday, this is Friday night, between now and Monday, if you are ready to join the waiting list and pay for this NAFDAC toolkit, we will collect 50,000 naira from you. Now, from Monday, the price goes up to 25,000. By April 1, when we are launching, the price will be 30,000. It will run at 30,000 for 1 month before we now return it to the original price. So you that is in this conversation today, the early birds, you have opportunity to pay 15,000 naira and get the entire toolkit and quickly join the WhatsApp group to start processing your documentation and starting your NAFDAC journey. We will handhold you. We will walk you through the process. We will be with you from this start till you get your NAFDAC registration for your product. Now, I'd like to take our questions if anybody has a question. So the payment details will be placed in the WhatsApp group where we are at. I want to see our comments, our questions. You can use the chat box, or you can also raise your hand and unmute yourself so that we can hear from you. Can we have your questions?
Yes, Eluma,
Yes,
can you
please
hear me,
go
ma'am?
ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. Like I said, I want to go into the palm oil business, but the thing is that I will not be the one producing it. I have a place like our hometown that I can go and get it, and then I'll bring it to Ibadan. Then I'll package it. Like, is
That's,
that possible?
yes, that is processing. That is processing. So those people making it in your village, they are your raw material producers. Do you understand?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you are now the what you're doing is processing and packaging. You may have some unit operations that you do within your space, like maybe you may want to melt the oil again to have all of them in
Yes,
the same consistency. Then you may want to filter it if it's not properly filtered from the village, and then you bottle it. Is it not true?
yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
these are
ma'am.
your manufacturing processes. So you are also a producer. Those people in the
Okay, ma'am.
village are your raw material suppliers. You are doing the production, your processes have mentioned it, and you are packaging. So you can get NAFDAC registration like that for your product.
Okay. All right, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
And again, ma'am,
Yes, please.
let's say, like, is it for every product that NAFDAC gives their NAFDAC number? Maybe I want to start palm oil now, and then the next I have another product, maybe sweet potato flour. Am I to get another NAFDAC number for that, or I already got the one for palm oil is the one for the sweet potato flour?
NAFDAC number is product registration, not facility registration. So every product will have a different NAFDAC number. Even if you're making the same product with different pack sizes, each pack size will have a different NAFDAC number. Let's say you're making your palm oil 5 liters and you're making 1 liter. 1 liter will have a different NAFDAC number from for 5 liters. When you are also making the potato will also have its own different NAFDAC number. NAFDAC number is the unique identity of that product. It's the unique identity of that product. And for SMEs, if you're coming to NAFDAC as an SME, you cannot register more than 5 products at a time. If you want to register more
Okay,
than five
ma.
products, they will look at you as a big company. Today's section is
Okay.
for small businesses. So since what you have already is the palm oil, you can proceed. That's one product, except you are packaging in two different pack sizes. You can also do pack size extension. With that, they can give you the same NAFDAC number, but they can count it as one. They may not count it as two products already. Do you understand? If you do pack size extension, meaning that it's exactly the same product, just different weights or different liters,
Okay.
similar containers, similar label. The only difference is the maybe 1 liter, 5 liters. If you do it that way, you can request for a pack size extension.
Okay, ma. All right. Thank you,
Thank
ma.
you very much. Any other question?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mani, you will have access to the replay if you are registered. If you are registered, you will have access to the replay. You just joined. Rumor Science Laboratory. You want to go into consultancy services. Please, can you speak? Ruma, can you speak so that I can understand what you're asking? Rumor Science Laboratories, please ask your questions. Let's hear you.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Though mine, I have some technical problem about the presentation. It's like skipping. So, but I just want to ask this question that, for example, like me, I'm in a place where we have less advocacy and sensitization for people that has all these SMEs and all these things that they want to go to now. But you see them, they have a lot of issue. I live in Katsina, for example, Katsina State. So you see, as a technology, sometimes people come to me that if they want to do this, they want to get NAFDAC, how are they going to do? So sometimes I just have to link them under with this, their normal office at the NAFDA office, maybe a friend, I will just tell them, okay, I will send you a number of somebody. So I just want to, is it possible for we to have a kind of, is it collaboration so that somebody will make it official? If people want to get their NAFDAC number, they want to do this, they can come to us. We can give them the normal procedure and everything and linked up with the NAFDAC. That is just the question I'm trying to ask. Because you see some of them like this water industry, bread industry, factory, and other small industries. You see them, they are just doing this thing off without having anything. All this yogurt. So sometimes we sensitize them based on unofficial. So that when you sensitize them unofficial, trying to make them to have a standard, they will come to you and start asking you, how are we going to do this? So that is just my question.
Okay. We are open to collaboration. We can have a conversation later. You can chat me up on. Are you in the WhatsApp group, sir?
Yeah, I'm in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. So contact us privately. Let's
Oh,
strike a conversation. Let's see where partnership can come in to help those
oh,
SMEs within your locality. Thank you, sir.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
Hello, ma. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. I was raising my hand. Ma, please, when you were mentioning the mistakes that do delay our registration, you said something about the standard for cleaning. I just want to get clarification. Does that mean for every business or for every product, NAFDAC have their own standard way that we need to, like me, I'm into pap production, that there is a standard way that NAFDAC accepted as their standard of cleaning, or I am the one that will write the way I clean my thing, the way I clean my ingredients to make the production. I want to get that clarification, please.
Your standard for cleaning is your company standard, but it must
Mhm.
not negate. Can you hear me? It
I'm
must
with you,
not go
ma'am.
against safety of the public.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay, so they are looking at good manufacturing practice. Good
okay, ma'am.
manufacturing practice are the standard for things that are allowable. So if you say,
Mhm.
for instance, that this you mop everywhere and use the same mop you use for the floor to clean your tables,
Ah, no, okay.
you know, some people may do that, but that is not allowable. It's against a good manufacturing practice. So now that
Yes.
wants first to see how do you do your product. That's why I was saying it's better for an SME to do their at least the first NAFDAC registration, go through it yourself so that they can explain these things for you. Otherwise, people will just be seeing it as NAFDAC is just rejecting things, they're just canceling things. If you see it from their own end, what they are trying to achieve, then they will teach you, so they can now explain some things to you. We also understand these things because we are food technologists and we understand this food safety and good manufacturing practice, good hygiene practice, and the rest of them. So that is why we also enlighten the other SMEs to do the right thing before they approach NAFDAC. Because this
Mm.
NAFDAC, they are also human beings. They are
Yes,
also
ma.
human beings. So when you see sometimes they have a lot of work to do. We all say NAFDAC is not doing their work, isn't it? We
Yeah,
always
yeah.
saying it. Now that is doing their work. Why the work they choke them? Even say work they choke them. So sometimes
Mm.
how people can get um, a- cranky when they are under pressure. So if you do not do the right thing and you come to them, depending on the officer you met, they are human beings. If you are coming to somebody that is overwhelmed and you are bringing something that is completely off the good manufacturing practice, you may just say, Madam, take this thing, it will not work. Do you understand? And may not be patient enough to explain the details to you. So that's where we come in. You can now come to the WhatsApp group and say, oh, look at the challenges I'm facing. So, but the standards for those technical standards, it is you that will present the standard your organization uses that must match good manufacturing practice.
Thank you so much, ma. So sorry, ma. The second question I have, if I registered now, apart from the two kits I'm going to get, what are the other benefits? Okay, I think you are saying now that maybe the WhatsApp group will still be available to support me. So
Yes.
I want to know which
The,
other thing, what other benefits that I'm going to benefit if I do, since I'm going to do it on my own. Then, ma, I'm sorry. Then another one is if we really want to start NAFDAC registration, can we proceed online or we need to get to their office to get form? How do we begin? What do we need to do?
you can process online, but I will not advise that. They have not gone
Oh,
100% digital.
oh, okay.
If you proceed online without contacting the office in your state office, if you meet
Oh,
challenges and you're coming to them for the first time, the approach may be
oh,
different. You get.
oh,
So when you
okay.
have compiled all your documentation and everything you need, go to your state office and show them.
Oh, okay.
If they
Okay.
are okay with it, they can now tell you, ask them, should I go ahead to upload?
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Mm.
So,
All right, thank you.
so then is that okay? The other one, any other benefit you are benefiting if you register apart from the toolkit, or would the toolkit really help us to understand our way? I don't know.
The toolkit will help you to understand everything you need. And when you meet challenges, you are in the group with your BDSP. Your business development service provider is in the same WhatsApp group with you. So if you meet any challenge, they'll provide everything you need for you to, as simple as even the appointment letter, the SOPs, the organogram, everything you need, where to get your CAC, where to get your what is it called? Your
The
barcode,
trademark.
where to get
Okay.
your labels, where to get everything you need, your trademark, everything you need, how and where is inside it before you
Oh,
approach NAFDAC. And if you meet challenges, you have a BDSP assigned to you without paying any extra money that will guide you
mm,
through.
that's a good one. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you. Any other? Okay, so we're going to post the link for the toolkit on the WhatsApp group. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, please indicate so you can be added. We're going to post the payment details on the WhatsApp group. And if you have further questions, so that we do not keep this session running endlessly. If you have further questions, okay, let's take Bounty as a last question. I think that's the only hand up. Net game bounty. So you can speak, then we can end the session. Any further questions can be brought up on the WhatsApp group. Then remember, this WhatsApp group is a waiting room for the webinar. It is not the toolkit session. So when you want us to, if you have questions on what to do, we can answer you there. If you want questions on details on how to do it, about things that are in the toolkit, you have to join the toolkit room to be able to get your BDSP support. I want to clarify on that. So it's not every question you ask on the WhatsApp group that if you're asking us, how do I write? Is this SOP correct? It's in the paid class that you will have that question answered. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So net game bounty. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it well. Please go ahead.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for organizing such an impactful section. I have my question is this. Um, for instance, a person intends to go into food processing and doesn't know too much about how to go about assessing packaging materials, assessing raw materials, all of those guide the operations before registration. Does this service is it can is this service part of what you will give? Because I came in very late, I didn't understand quite well all you stand to gain when you're registered. I want to understand. I don't know if you can give a quick brief on what I get stand to gain if I register with this.
Maybe if you're
Yeah.
just joining now, instead of us going through from the beginning, you can watch the replay. But a quick recap is that the where to get packaging materials, we can link you up with suppliers that we've been using. Where to get raw materials depends on your location because of logistics costs in Nigeria. So we may not be able to provide contact for each person on where to get. Let's say you want to get, can you get beans at the cheapest price? We can tell you the region where it is found, and if there's any other person in the group that knows. Do you understand? The people in the group can provide you with such answers. But packaging materials is everywhere, so we can always find packaging materials, equipment suppliers. But for raw materials, you need to source, you need to check your source by yourself. So your peers also can support in that if you're in the same room with them. So the NAFDAC DIY toolkit contains all the documentation you need. That's what you're paying for. Grace is asking. So it contains all the documentation you need, samples of all the SOPs. What you need is to um, insert your product, insert your business name and your signature and print on your letterheaded paper. It has been written down for you. So you have those templates all written down for you. You have a video guide showing you how to navigate the NAPAMS portal. You have a video guide showing you how to go through the entire process. And then you are in the same WhatsApp group with a BDSP. BDSP is a certified national business development service provider. SMIDAN always advises us to go through a BDSP when you are seeking for services within Nigeria. You have a BDSP assigned to you that responds to your questions and challenges as they come in. If you want to engage a BDSP, sometimes maybe the people that do not charge much charge like 30,000 naira per session. But if you're paying for the DIY toolkit with regards to NAFDAC registration and surrounding issues, surrounding like your CSC, like your trademark, all those surrounding documentation that concern it, that one-off payment covers your BDSP fee until you get your NAFDAC certification.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So other questions, we can take them from the group. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, please indicate. And thank you very much. Remember, the early bird payment of 15,000 naira ends by Monday. Once we come to work on Monday by 9 a.m., we'll shut that down. The price goes up to 20,000 naira from Monday. So please take note of that. We wish you all the best in your NAFDAC journey. We hope to see in a few months' time people posting their NAFDAC numbers on the WhatsApp group. We want to see celebrations. We want to see people getting into the big shops, in shopping malls. with your product. We want to see your business scale. We want to see you going into export. So the basis of them is to get your documentation right. And we wish you well in this journey that you are starting. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much, the FDI Hub team, for rectifying the initial challenges we had and making sure that this webinar still held. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you, entrepreneurs. Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing. We will all see ourselves at the top. Thank you very much, everybody. So have a
Thank
beautiful
you
evening.
so much, ma. God bless you. It's so
Bless
impactful.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. All right.